Lagos, a city that never sleeps. Not because of traffic or nightlife, but because every soul here is wide awake, eyes peeled, watching, measuring, judging. In Lagos, your name is your currency, your style is your armor, and your clothes. They tell a story long before your mouth ever opens. And no one told stories with fabric quite like Elizabeth Gomez. She wasn't just a part of the Lagos fashion scene, she was the pulse of it. When she walked into a party, heads turned, cameras clicked, tongues wagged, not because she was loud, but because her silence roared. Her gowns were more than just pretty. Each one was a statement, a declaration of elegance, ambition, and power. Ashwebi wasn't just a tradition to her, it was a weapon. And in her hands, it was lethal. But even queens fall. It started as whispers, a murmur here, a side glance there. Then came the scandal, deep, personal, and messy. The kind that doesn't just stain your reputation, it unravels it thread by thread. Elizabeth's family name, once held in high esteem, was suddenly dragged through the mud. And in Lagos, forgiveness isn't quick, grace isn't cheap, and people, oh, they remember the mess louder than they remember the legacy. Almost overnight, she became a cautionary tale. That woman who used to be someone, the fashion goddess whose throne now sat empty. Invitations stopped coming. Stylists began whispering her name like it was taboo. Even her so called friends, they shifted their eyes when she walked by, pretending not to see her. But here's the thing about a woman like Elizabeth. You can't strip her of her status, tear her photos off the society blogs, block her from the VIP list, but you can't erase her spirit. Behind closed doors, away from the lights and the noise, Elizabeth looked herself in the mirror. Not the glamorous one with golden frame, but the raw one, the honest one. She didn't see a falling star. She saw a woman who still had the tools to rebuild: needle, thread, and a mind full of vision. She didn't need their approval. She needed a plan. And so she called on her real friends, the one who didn't care about her headlines or high society whispers. Women who had seen her laugh, cry, fail, and rise again. Together, over steaming cups of tea and rolls of akara, they began to scheme, not to bring others down, but to lift Elizabeth back up with style, with grace, with impact. They found her moment. The upcoming wedding of a wealthy Lagos socialite. Everyone will be there. Every camera, every influencer, every backstabber. Perfect. The Ashwebi group was forming. And Elizabeth, she didn't just want in, she wanted to lead. She poured herself into every detail. The fabric had to speak volumes. The design, iconic. The fit, flawless. Dazed turned into nights in her studio. Sketches piled up. Her tailor's fingers bled. Beads flew. Scissors snipped. And slowly magic was born. When the day came, the wedding was nothing short of a spectacle. Cars lined the streets. Guests dripped in gold and glitter. But when Elizabeth stepped out of her car, draped in custom lace that shimmered like sunlight on water, the world froze. Gasps, stares, The crowd parted like a red sea of admiration and envy. She didn't smile. She didn't need to. Her walk was confident. Her presence undeniable. She was the phoenix rising, and everyone knew it. Even the ones who had doubted her, the ones who had whispered behind her back, they clapped politely. But their eyes burned with regret. Elizabeth didn't just turn heads, she turned the tide. But here's where her story became something greater. She could have soaked in glory, bathed in the applause, and gone back to being the queen who ruled alone. But instead, she opened her doors to other women, young designers, dreamers, those who had talent but lacked opportunity. She mentored, she shared, she empowered. Elizabeth launched her own line, not just to show off, but to make space for others. She understood now. Fashion wasn't just about being seen, it was about making others feel seen too. What began as a comeback now turned into a calling. She wasn't just back, she had evolved. And this time, no scandal, no whisper, no judgment could dim her light. Because now, her beauty wasn't only in the fabric she wore, it was in the way she lifted others, in the way she walked, knowing who she was, even when the world tried to forget. Aso Ebi Diaries isn't just a tale about lace and gele. It's a story about losing everything and still finding yourself. It's about sisterhood, grit, reinvention. It's about the quiet strength of a woman who knows her worth and never lets the world write her ending for her. So next time you see a woman dressed to the nines, chin high, eyes sharp, remember, there's a story behind every stitch. And maybe, just maybe, she's stitching herself back together.